Hey, hey, let's turn on off the music, I guess. Welcome, y'all, to Shut Up and Ride Show. And we live, baby. In fact, soon we're getting ready to have our threes a crowd. Miss Cindy Fenty's joining us. So that's going to be a treat.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So
How you doing today, young lady?
Hey, I'm doing good. How about you?
Awesome, awesome. I'm well. It's great to be alive.
Yes, it is. Alive. That's right. Some people didn't make it this morning.
Didn't make it.
Some people woke up dead.
Right.
They were like, "Dang, I have more to do."
Bless the dead. God bless
Oh
the
yeah,
dead.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They know.
April 16th,
That's
2025.
Right. Hey, tax day for most states.
It's great to be alive.
Day after.
Yesterday. Well, Florida got an extension to the end of the month. So.
Yeah, that's always. We've been getting hurricanes since Florida was a state. It's the first time we need it.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, yeah.
A lot of folks still in limbo.
Yeah. I know Virginia, do they get that break too?
I hope so.
They doing, Yeah, everybody. We had some storms, not just Florida. I mean, the West Coast with those
recently,
them fires, people homeless.
The whole damn country need a break.
We really need to collect taxes right now from anybody.
Right, exactly.
For what? For our government that we need to get out from under.
Oh my God!
Come on, it don't make no sense.
We in trouble.
Man, yeah, we ain't in trouble.
This dude got his foot on
we ain't in trouble. Pedal. Yeah, listen, the enemy can't profit unless you allow it.
Yeah.
Anybody think you're in trouble? Don't think you're in trouble. Know that you have a solution and be that. Right, do your part in it.
I hear you.
Don't fall for the okie doke. Oh, they said it's gonna happen. Oh, they said, and so they said. So they're the predictors of the future. They enable you. They control you.
Nostradamus.
Yeah. Come on, you control you. I control me. So hey, right on point. That's what I'm talking about.
There you go.
Getting ready to get our threes a crowd. So it's this way. So you got. She like, hold on, let me make sure.
A little bit.
Right in front of everybody. Do the check.
Been a long day.
No, it's not even over yet.
Oh, right.
I'm getting ready to come up to some city. I don't know if I want to name it yet. I'm coming. I'm gonna sneak up on a couple people.
About to hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack. Don't you come back no more. That's all I got.
There you go.
Hit the road. Don't nobody care what he think. Not me, about me. That's what, hey, ain't none of my business.
Ain't none of your business.
Nothing what you think about me. I ain't asked. Right. But it's Wednesday. We covered our values and our views on taxes.
Right.
We can't avoid it unless we're smart.
Right.
Which we learned from, our president.
Right.
We're learning how to be smart.
Right.
Smarter
than you ever been before.
But smarter again.
The smartest ever. I mean, this has never been done. It's
making America smart again.
Right. It's unprecedented.
I was like, well, I don't know if we were smart, ever. But no, we got smartphones.
But everything he does is the greatest ever. The greatest has ever been. Nobody ever done it greater.
Well, one thing for certain, I don't know anybody who's independent.
Right.
It took people, support, even enemies, to get you where you are now at. You're now at. I don't think you're nobody independent, and even bad things, there has to be supported to carry. And to keep has to be supported, and mostly by the person that's happening to.
Gotta have your fellow villains.
But when we say haters, we got to show them haters only haters because they ain't started.
Right. They haven't done greater.
No, they ain't even tried most times.
Right.
They ain't even tried. They're just mad because, like that. You did, and I could have had that, and you ain't even that good. I'm better, but you didn't start.
Right.
That
ain't how you do it.
Yeah, as you from your couch.
Right. Right.
Look at this, man. He didn't even make the basket, man. Awesome commentators.
Sorry. Just trash.
Look at him.
Right.
Can you run around the lap of the basketball court?
Man.
Listen, I remember trying.
How are you?
Off screen, we got Cindy Fenty in the house. Dika, give me a cup because I want some of that water Cindy got. Because I don't know if I had my H2O. And before this weekend start, I need to hydrate my liver. Right there in front of you, that plastic one. Cindy, I don't want that cup. All right, unplugged. Mm-hmm. Oh, no, then. You good. I knew that. Knew this like Brutus. Want to do this. True this. Y'all like my art? My art is brought to you today by Joyce Hayes, Eye of Joy, and also W. King. So,
sure, right now.
Oh, you're so grateful. You know, you bake a cake too. Dika, call Noel. Need cakes. This is one of those days. Just one of those days.
One of my favorite people.
Who's that?
Scam Likely. Motherfucker.
Should have been a server, Cindy. You're so awesome at that. I know. Listen, I know how many times you've been a server without being paid for the last. How old's your oldest? 19. Okay, for the last 40 years. Hey, that's how we get better, though. Now, when we want to do it, we know we ain't enough money. Be like, it's enough, but it's gonna cost you. We just cover a little taxes. We're rambling on right now, but I guess why Cindy gets that ready and we rejoin, I'll share some pictures with you. This is us at All Female Ride. Hey, blessings.
Blessings.
Wait till you listen. I got some others. We got this weekend coming. Yeah, I got this weekend coming. We have the out in California, beautiful bikers ride coming up in the International Female Ride Day. Also, it's out in LA, so that's awesome.
What's going on, bud?
Hey, Cindy Fenty.
Hey,
how you doing? Hello, darling.
I feel crowded.
Yeah. You want to get in the middle?
No.
Yeah. Here, blessing on the H2O.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm. I get the cigar box tonight. I'm gonna be doing shots. Shot.
This is lowest thing.
Yeah, karaoke too. Yeah, I'm going. I got my boots.
Have you washed your hair this week?
I shampooed my hair about 3 days ago.
Oh, it's time to get dirty.
Right.
So, Cindy Fitty, what you been up to? It's been one of those days. Is that?
It's been what's today? Today's Wednesday.
Hump day.
Oh my goodness! I feel like I'm running through, like sprinting through the week.
We see you all of Cindy.
Yeah.
Be that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Like you're sprinting.
Yeah. Well, today was pretty much dedicated to my parents. They took mom to the doctor this morning, and dad this afternoon, and and now I'm here. I ran through traffic to get here.
I haven't seen my mom. Made me sad now.
Yeah. You better go and see Sophia.
I know. Huh?
Sophia.
Yeah, my mom. My mom. I love you, mother, but I'm probably just like you. I'll be over to see you soon. I'll call you tonight, though.
I love me some Sophia.
Yes, me too.
She's a cool chick.
And sometimes what I do and which is probably, to embrace, like we know death is natural. Everybody will do it. And so sometimes I try to distance my heart for a minute to miss and then go back, to harden it somehow. I don't know, has it worked? I don't know, because I haven't had. Well, my grandmother, passed away, and I felt like, hey, it's a natural thing. I speak to her, so I did okay. But I still know death is coming. And so I guess that's the way I'm hardening, or not, maybe not hardening, but just coming to that this life is short.
Acceptance.
Yeah, and as if I could prepare and treat it, but I do want to see her. I just threw it, so. Anybody ask her anything? Off the screen audience,
Yeah, you guys are lucky
Thanks,
to
Tika.
What would you say? Oh, I will. I love you. I admit it. I love you. Call you Dika Downer.
Oh,
Love it.
No.
Please, Dika. She. Listen. She's a really. Yeah. Right. She like.
I'd offer to punch her in the gut for you, but I love her too. So that's tough. Colin, hey.
What's going on, man?
Yeah.
Yes,
we airing out. What are you thinking about? I guess I shared with my little insight as to what I do to deal with, the love and acceptance of, death.
Right. Well, you guys are blessed to still have your parents,
Yeah.
I've been without my mom longer than I've been with her, right now. So,
Okay.
dealt with it at 23. So,
Okay.
right there, that was it was crazy. But anywho,
Yeah.
I've
Could you
slept-
appreciate? Did you at 23? Did you understand? Well, was that the first loved one that passed that you?
No, I lost my granddaddy. I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
The only grandfather I knew. Then my aunt Ruby. I was real close to her. She was a sweetheart.
Okay.
She died. I was about maybe 12, something like that. Been dealing with death all my life.
Yes, it is natural.
Friends, had a kid get shot, down in Alabama,
Maybe speak up just a little bit.
Just knew him for about a week. They was going. They was going hunting. I'm out of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? We were down there for maybe about 3-4 months. I come home, ask my mom if I can go with them. She like, hell no. You and a bunch of boys with rifles and shit. No, And
you can't go.
And I put up a fit. I threw a fit.
Yeah.
And man, it was terrible. The boy accidentally got shot in the head. They were showing each other their rifles, and
that was the same thing.
Yeah, my mom see, that's what I'm trying to tell you, son. It's
wow.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
And, I remember another time down there, I wanted to go to Lake Dauphine with my cousins now, with my nieces now. And she refused to let me go. I had just learned to swim.
You want to show off?
Yeah. She's like,
they don't know how to outswim me.
Right.
I'm gonna say them.
No, you ain't going out there in the ocean. Because Lake Dauphine right off the Gulf of Mexico.
Okay.
Should we say Gulf of America?
Gulf of America.
Got jokes.
Anyway, right. It was off the Gulf of Mexico.
You put this chair right here for me.
And,
here you go.
And man, I threw a big fit that day. You know what I mean? Kicking and screaming and crying and shit because I couldn't go. And I'm sitting there watching the afternoon news with my mom. You know what I mean? And it showed, my brother-in-law Charles carried my little niece Peaches out of the water. She got caught by undercurrent and drowned.
Oh no!
That was sad as hell. And at that point, I'm like, I ain't gonna argue with my mama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever
she
say, because she bet 1,000. You know what I mean? And especially when, many times she always said, mark my words. You know what I'm saying? And so,
and something you knew already.
So, yeah. So when she left, I was sad to go, see her go because I was the youngest and I couldn't understand the oldest was so upset. They had twice as many twice as many years what I had. You know what I'm saying? You
But
know,
listen, they in that trauma that they went like you know, they've been with her longer, having just as much memories and just as much as their heart is, you know, and they're like, your heart is going to be even softer, and maybe they somehow seen you were spared in some sense, and you feel like they were spared in some sense because they got more time.
Right.
You know.
Got to see their kids grow. You know, I got nieces and nephews my age. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
So both of y'all hurt is genuine.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Genuine,
no doubt,
for sure.
You know, no doubt.
Whether less or more.
Yeah, but that was the hardest blow yet. It don't get no harder.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna get, you know.
Death.
I can't see it. You know, I lost my mom. You know what I mean?
And you ain't
That's why it's, you know.
You lost. Hey, you gonna see in spirit.
Sense, you know, so
and nobody use that word loss.
You know, so that's
what do you think about that?
I mean, it's a physical loss. You know, you can no longer have that mental. But if you got that connection, then what's in you is in you.
Well, that's what I mean. Why do they use that word loss? You know, I've always. But we'll talk about that later.
You know, that's embedded.
That's doctrine. I mean? So that's what you do. You know, Mondays.
The teachings. You know what I'm saying? The encouragement and the strength. You know what I'm saying? You draw off all of that. You know, and the memories. You know what I mean? That's why even though I don't celebrate the holidays, but as a child coming up, some of the best memories, you know, the holidays, you know what I'm saying?
When you see the cousins.
Right, you know what I'm saying? You can't erase that, you know what I mean?
No, why would you? You know, that's what made us part of you.
Right, you know. So,
layers of who you are collectively.
I mean, we had some great holidays, you know what I mean?
There you go.
Coming up.
I pray you got some great ones coming.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know,
definitely.
You in control of that.
Yeah.
Don't invite the ones you really don't like.
Looking forward to my tomorrows. Oh yeah, they
talk about a memory.
They got front row seat, you know. Hey, peace and love to everyone, you know. Yeah, but death, man, you know, it is what it is. It's
natural.
Guaranteed, you know. It's one of the few guarantees you got in life.
You ain't even got a few.
You know, right? You got maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, you look. You just 2 is how you say. Yeah.
Man, Marvin said taxes, death, and trouble. You know, so I come up hard, baby.
Yeah,
I think that death is a lower case of trauma. If you want, I don't know if that makes sense, because I feel like the body kind of processes trauma the same way. As what death, compared to? Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's like on a lower scale, but still it's like a loss. It's not like you physically getting beaten up or anything, but emotionally.
No, yeah, right? I get you. Which would probably be the same. Yeah. Right.
And with emotions, sometimes people tend to act out because of loss, death. Mm-hmm. They tend to act out and do things that they
would normally do.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to talk about it, if you need to, because then you can't go around just hurting people, guys.
Right.
But isn't that kind of paying interest on something that you may never collect on, like to put when you say prepare for death that's why they're hurting people. Maybe I got lost in what you were saying.
No. Okay. So I lost my dad when I was 19. Mm-hmm. Right. It was so unexpected. Now,
it was traumatic.
It was traumatic. Yeah, it was traumatic. Right. I mean, when I found out, I was on the stoop. Okay. Well, I was on the stoop with my friends or whoever there, and someone came and told me, and I pretty much fell to my knees.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I was going down, because I couldn't believe it. And from my dad's death, I always said to myself, I wouldn't put off telling someone that I love them, right? Because he died the Friday before Father's Day. And I said to myself, we were in Brooklyn, I said, you know what? It's Wednesday. I'll call him on Sunday for Father's Day. See? And he died Friday. So that was a learning experience for me, and I just learned to just show love. There's not we
Right
have
now.
to live in the now.
The present.
The present is
Right
all we
now.
have right now. That's
right.
the gift is right now.
Right.
So
now, would you say the lesson that you learned from that? Would you're glad about that experience, or would you, knowing that you're going to feel it, somehow in your life, do you think there's any other way you would have learned that?
well,
What
I
you
mean,
learned from it?
I wouldn't say glad. I mean,
Right,
I would have.
lack of that
I
word.
would love to still have my dad.
Right,
You
of
know,
course.
my
Right.
biological dad. And I dream about him sometimes, and I wish that he could have seen his grandkids and etc.
You wish you could have seen him see him. I
Yeah,
know
just that
he
smile.
knows.
He was such a cool
He
dude.
did see him. He did see him,
Yeah, I believe
guaranteed.
he did.
Yeah.
I believe that everyone that passes on, especially if they're your family, they become like your guardian angels.
Mhm. Yeah.
Or
even to talk to them, I feel, to say their name at a time such as right now as we're speaking, I feel among us right now.
Yeah,
Just to mention their name,
Yeah.
Because there's so many times we just think it, and that's something to remind us. That's thing. I feel then they're present, and that
Right.
just keeps you grounded and to be present. Religion sometimes taught us away from being in that, but it was trying to. We need to be more spiritual.
Yeah.
Be to speak of those, especially when we say things like, "Hey, we stand on our ancestors' shoulders." Well, that's who we speak about. So when we see us achieve something as a group, as an individual, hey, we know the ones come before us went through much worse, and
Right.
that's what the energy and motivation of their spirit we got to conjure up to keep us accountable. I guess all that circle on that.
Yeah.
Don't put off anything.
It's not bad. It's sad.
No, it's
Feel in your
not.
heart
It's not
that
a
you need to
bad
do.
thing. It's a sad thing, I guess.
Why do they say you should be happier at a death than at a birth?
Because they go on to a better place.
Okay.
And
So-
I mean, there's so many examples of that, or witnesses of that. If you go on
So then
YouTube,
why should it be sad if we know it's the celebration? Why don't we have this celebration?
Because once again, it goes back to that sense of loss.
belief, though, but a lot of people don't.
But it say don't be. It says it right there, don't be. So why can't we
Good luck
use
at
that? Well, I've off. That's one of the reasons why I try to. I mean, I buried a son, and
That's
you
the
know,
worst. That's gotta be the worst.
and it was and the first thing someone said, oh well, it's infant. Okay, that's good. Okay, so you didn't spend that much time. Does that? I don't know if it makes
So
it less
that's
because I didn't. I don't have a child, older that I don't know, so I can't say. But to experience, yeah, to know someone,
Who
even
told
for a
you
brief
that?
moment. I heard someone say it, not talking about me, in a conversation that they were say like, because I have a
Female or
lot of
male?
children.
Female or male?
Well, no, let me tell you what the context was. That I had so many kids. If I lost one, it was okay because they only had one.
What?
I know.
Sometimes people just need to zip it.
Shut the fuck up.
It's like what? It wasn't.
That's the most
They lack
asinine.
Right.
Emotional
That's the most
intelligence.
asinine
They
thing
lack
I've heard in a
emotion-
while.
Lack
You know.
emotional intelligence.
This
It's
person.
just like intelligence, period.
Well,
You have so many, you just let one
Right.
get lost. Bitch,
Right.
how about you get lost? That's what I
if you
tell
go
them,
right this way, you be out
lose
of my.
yourself, motherfucker. How about that? What kind of bullshit? I'm sorry to be cussing, folks,
Ooh,
but
You thought you was gonna be
see,
good.
but some things,
It has no reply.
Right. Well,
Have no. You're just.
a bunch of
for
colorful
a comment
words.
like that, what do you think will happen to her in a cartoon?
Listen, the first thing I did.
Put a rocket on the pocket.
Beep, beep.
Send her ass off to the moon.
You rascally wabbit.
Right.
All of those Looney Tunes, okay? Oh, man. Yeah, this is where I need the skits now.
Like
Put it in press
Bugs Bunny,
buttons.
like
Yes.
Bugs Bunny would say, "What a maroon."
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, some people, yeah, they just, yeah, some things not warranted reply I've learned in my older years. I used to try to reason, and man, they beat me with their dumbness.
Yeah.
I was like, you win.
Beat you down with the
Right.
ignorance side.
Yeah, I've
It's
been like, I'm
like,
tired from
hey,
trying to talk
you
to
got it. You got
the
it,
wall.
bro. You got
Like,
it.
huh?
You got it right. Right.
Oh, you win.
I surrender.
Right. Oh, white flag, red,
Right,
green.
right.
Which color? You know. So now I just know to just, most time I don't wear it on my face. I've gotten better.
Yeah.
They say I wear my expressions on my face. Like, yeah, I
You do.
didn't know
You
that.
get stuck. You do.
Hey, I'm
That's
honest.
that. Right. Right. And nothing wrong with it. It don't make. Look, I'm not a champion if I can. It's just something I try to just be. Let's say, for instance, I can be around a certain politicians and people, and they're paying me to be at this benefit, and I accept it. I didn't really know one way or another, but I knew I'd be. The commonality was our motorcycles. So okay, they can say something, and I just okay. I'm really seeking as to why they feel the way they feel. So I really don't have an expression because I'm trying to learn, so it ain't emotional. I'm just trying to, okay, when they say something to me like, did you know one of the greatest things I love about General Lee? And I'm like, okay, tell me, well, one thing he did, and I said, do you have family, you have relatives, why is this, did you read a book? I just want to know genuinely. And if after about 5 minutes they haven't moved the needle, I'm good. I don't need to. I thought you were gonna give me some new information. I could change my mind because I don't mind changing it. I don't miss what I don't know. But yeah, so for that, I don't have really an emotion or wearing it on my face because I'm really just trying to accept whatever they want to be and explain to me, answer my question because I just want to know your perspective because I'm clueless.
John said that I had a look on my face last week, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
Look.
He forgot.
What you talking about?
Let's see.
What was you doing?
You sound like remind me.
Chantel asked me something.
Oh.
What?
When you asked that we was talking about friends, checking friends,
With that little friend.
Oh yeah. She was all on the.
She said,
like, what?
I wish a bitch would.
Right. Like, nigga, please.
Right. Because and you know what they did? They let me know, like, because who is it that you have? I don't know who you thought of as the friend at that moment, but that's the motherfucking name I want to know.
Right.
That one, or maybe it was a few friends.
Trust me,
Or
it wasn't you.
No, I didn't feel that. I wouldn't have been bringing it up. It's like, oh shit, we ain't inviting her now.
Probably thinking about.
Yeah, karaoke people,
Right.
I mean, karaoke. You have karaoke here every Thursday. We talk about. We had karaoke later.
Your hair was long. Now it's short, you say.
What?
I got it cut.
Oh,
I don't
no.
know.
Talk about fakes.
Oh.
Alexander Deal.
Oh. Come on. We got Calvin want to join us. You gotta go in the background here. You see that chair there?
Got a link over his shoulder,
Yeah, I was gonna say move the table there, and that way you. No,
Right,
stay
right.
there, Cindy. He's just gonna put his head. It's
All
What's
right.
going on, brother?
Look at that.
Hey,
No,
live
this is a
audience,
crowd.
You know what I'm saying? Participation.
I appreciate
You got a heckler over there.
Appreciate you allowing me
Off the camera,
to
audience.
join in. I'll just get right to it. You were talking about, listening and seeking to understand and different perspectives.
Yeah.
Right? And just a few minutes ago, you were talking about how this person asked a question, or made a statement and said, well, I only have one child. Since you have 16, if you lost one, it wouldn't, bother you as much as if I lost the only one. And y'all kind of drug that. But now I want to say this as far as a different perspective. Have you anybody that has children multiple children. You ever told anything to the effect of, I brought you in this world, I'll take you out, I'll make another one look just like you, or something to that along those lines. Do you recall anybody any of you ever saying something like that?
I never said that to my children.
I never had my parents threaten my life.
Chantel.
Now,
hold up.
Now, when most people use that term, all right, now when most people say that, they don't literally
2 out of 3.
mean that.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? They just saying that. You know, they don't literally mean that. They just saying, nah, you know what I'm saying? Don't make me fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, nobody. I
Right.
hope, man.
I ain't had to kill none, so it worked for me.
Right.
Listen,
You know, it's just a threat, brother.
Right. It was a promise, but guess what? I ain't had to do it. It worked. You know. No, but it's something I grew up when my mama said, "Don't go out there and get hit by a car. I'm gonna kill you."
Right.
Now how's she gonna kill me if I'm dead?
Right.
You know. And so yeah, certainly we use those as
a
what they call that, a little
motivation.
But what they call them, little tad bats or little quotes.
Right.
You know, go hit the bed. Well, she don't mean hit the bed. She mean go to bed. You know. Go ahead. You had one to finish.
Well, no, that's pretty much as far as different perspective, thinking another way.
But no, that's not a thought. Like, no, we were talking real death.
The capacity to just listen for understanding and not be quick to judge.
But I want you to say, let me cut you off real quick, just to finish this, because that terminology you used, and we were talking about death, is very different. Like, one has nothing to do with, these were real, death, emotion. That there was a hypothetical of parents and rearing, child rearing. Nobody was killing children. You understand?
I don't think that's what he was saying.
Well, but we were talking about death.
But I mean, we say it in a joking manner. We don't mean it. But if something happens,
but we were talking on feelings. How death. We weren't talking about parenting. Parents saying something. I'm gonna beat your butt.
Well, I'm talking about just the capacity thing. You would give the example. You gave the example of going to some kind of political thing, and somebody said, "Hey, I want to tell you something great about General Lee," and you didn't just shut them down like, "Man, I don't know about no goddamn blah 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 blah." You was like, "Tell me more." Right. You got that capacity to think another way, whether it's about politics, whether it's about death.
So you're saying that she probably should have asked the lady, what do you mean by that, or something like that? When she's made a statement. What do you mean that I shouldn't, feel so bad? You know what I'm saying? And then the lady she wouldn't have had nothing to say,
Not
because
that
how do you expound on that? How do you expound on such a statement?
Not suggesting that she should have reacted or responded any differently. I'm coming in, and I appreciate, again, letting me talk, to say I appreciate what you're talking about as far as having the capacity to kind of, be
understand,
be humble and think another way and accept.
Right. And often when you accept, you can almost turn off your thinking for a moment, just to, if you will, be the sponge. Just allow them just to listen. Just listen to them. If you're thinking sometime at the same time, you're not hearing what they're saying.
See, death.
I thought this was Facebook Live.
Somebody died.
It's Facebook is on there as well.
Then I don't see it.
Then you have to listen to what death is saying.
Right.
Whereas in politics,
I'm sorry, say again.
And when somebody dies, then you're not listening to that person speak anymore. You're listening to what death is saying to you, and that feeling, that experience of loss, the experience of death. They're no longer, they're present in the spirit. You can't touch them. You can't hear them talking. You can't engage in whatever.
But they're protecting us.
You're still in the physical, and you got to hear what death is just saying.
I know for a fact that they protect us, because I have a story about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said it,
Let's hear it.
but this was about a week after my dad passed. Um, I decided to go to White Castle's on the way home on Church Avenue. Y'all know Church Avenue?
What Church Avenue? What, Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, yes. Greedy me decided to get off the bus and White Castle's. Get off, and as soon as I go into White Castle's and close the door, bang, 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 shoot out in the parking lot.
Wow.
Yes. And this lady on the sidewalk got shot on the leg, and I don't think the guys in the car, they might have been a little hurt. But I should have stayed on the bus, but I didn't. And I'm safe. I'm okay now. Okay. And I felt like I could have been distracted and went into the door. Maybe 2 seconds later, something would happen. You see what I'm saying? So presently, I'm guided by my intuition. Yeah. What I feel is right, I do it. Exactly.
I've died a few times, like one time literal, but and brought back physically, but it's so many times. I remember that I know I should have been dead. I think one time we were live. I was
Yeah. Thanks, John.
Yeah, John just wanted to let us see we're on live. One time I talked about on here where it was in New York, and the guy, because I had to use the restroom and had to go down. That was one. Listening to that intuition. A couple of times on my bike, because I didn't want to see my death, so I just closed my eyes for it felt like 2 minutes. And I didn't want to see myself die, and I just like, okay, and I just remember grunting my face, and then after a while, I'm like this. I was like, okay, I can see a little bit like that. Hold on. Okay.
Yeah. I remember that first one when you first started riding around that curve in the car.
I didn't think I was dead then. I was just.
I come in this chick in the stretcher. Like, the hell?
I was like, Dad, I ruined them shoes. I was like, my teeth here? And the guy, his name was Matthew. He said, ma'am, you okay? I was like, a teeth here? He said, yeah. I said, I'm good. I went to get up and I was like, ow, my arm hurt a little bit. So just help me up. And I remember I could move it, but I couldn't, put no pressure on it. But I didn't think I was going to die then. But
it was like a slippery curve. So, you know, even with cars, when you're coming around them bends, you got to
pay attention.
Yeah, slow down.
It was an experience.
Other time, it was just, when I was coming around a curve here on Maitland, coming on 1792.
Right.
And the concrete, you know how you got a sharp curve, but they made the curve even sharper because they wanted to extend it. So they put those temporary concrete blocks to turn the 2-lane into 1. And I don't know what I was doing. I didn't see it. I didn't see no tapering off. It just turned to be a straight curve. I mean, a straight line. Yeah. And I remember looking here, and I kept saying, look where you're going to go. 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 Look where you're going. And I got around, and I remember saying, whoa, thank you, Lord. Whoa, thank you, Lord. Because I was dead. I was like,
you probably had a lot of them damn moments.
Baby, no, that was the only ones I needed.
Like in 48 states. Yeah.
Oh, man. But both of them was here, local.
Oh, really?
All of them.
Yeah,
no, one was in Tucumcari, New Mexico. Who? Tucumcari, New Mexico. Tucumcari, New Mexico. Yeah, I know I was dead. I thought they was gone. Yeah. So, yeah, those death experience, learning stuff.
Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna get it back to
right on.
So,
all right,
I
appreciate you.
Our three's a crowd, and he came out.
I have a question.
Appreciate you, brother.
It's been a long time since I took the driving test.
Mhm.
Now, I've gotten a couple of middle fingers from bikers. And that's
That's
a dang, I
peace.
didn't see you. You know, so I
Right.
feel like sometimes bikers, they,
That you was blessed.
am I supposed to yield to you or are you supposed to yield to me? Because I'm driving in the car.
Well, it's both, you know, just like they would do with a car, the same
Yeah.
rules, you know. But yet on a bike, don't come up close to it, or when you get in the lane, if you press your brake, all those rocks are on us from your tire, and it spits up, and even when on the bike, the wind can get in that little crack
From the brake?
from
braking?
the car brakes.
Really?
Yeah, if you go to get in the lane too, and you're right in front of a biker, and you go to, and then you get in it and brake,
Right.
it's all on us. You know, those, especially those little fine rocks. But now, if if you're at least 100 feet ahead, then you're good.
Right.
But it's those ones that come, you know, you right here, and y'all going 90 miles an hour right here,
Right.
and then you go, shh,
Oh, okay.
and then brake.
Right. I know. All right. So if you
You're like,
got a little speed going.
Yeah, if
I'm
you
like,
going, don't
man,
brake, you good. But if
kicking
you
up
brake,
rocks. I could see if you were saying taking off. You know what I
you know,
mean?
because if you're
Kicking
that
rocks
close,
back,
just
you know.
just breaking this and come behind.
Right.
If you that close, if we riding neck and neck, don't speed and slow
No,
down.
I don't speed. I let
Let them go. There you
I'll
go.
let them go.
I was gonna say sometimes that's peace. Like,
But
hey,
some of
love
them
you.
are, some
But if you do it
bikers,
to a car, that ain't peace.
some bikers are really like just reckless.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And
They're
then you want to
jerks.
give me a middle finger because
Right.
you're driving
They're
like an
right.
asshole and I didn't see
you.
you.
Got assholes,
Right.
like you got assholes car drivers.
Yeah.
You know, assholes everywhere.
Yeah, right.
As an operator of a motor vehicle,
Absolutely.
you yield to whoever is most exposed to risk. Pedestrians, number one,
Mm-hmm.
because they're exposed to risk all the way around.
Right.
If they get hit by a car, it's dead.
That's a wrap.
Bicyclists,
Yeah.
Right.
and motorcycles, because if you get a bump, a wreck in a car, it's an inconvenience. But if you get a wreck in a motorcycle, it's you gonna be hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I lost a few friends on.
So you
Yeah.
yield to the
I respect
one
that.
exposed to risk.
Yeah, you don't want to hit nobody. Though,
No.
You know what I mean?
Well,
No,
some
but
people don't.
this
But
was
then
just-
you have road rage these days, and people
Yeah.
go to hit people just
Yeah.
because they're mad, they're upset.
People are
Oh, you
sure.
didn't do that. I'm gonna show you. I always say to some people, I said, listen, don't be dead right. You as a motorcyclist, don't be dead right. Be wrong and go home.
Right.
You know, let them go. So what? You know, so that's again, you need to know you only control you as any driver of any vehicle, but truly as a vehicle that got no airbags, you know,
Right.
because even that's maybe a false sense of a security. Something hit you, you know, hard enough or fast enough, you know, or you hit something fast enough, airbags ain't gonna mean nothing,
Right.
you know. But still, you got to pay attention, but consider others. Drive
Absolutely.
knowing that, hey, let me drive, and if I put myself in this situation, how can I get out of it? Always having a way to be proactive. You know, I think everybody should take that course of motorcycle. I learned so much when I took the motorcycle course, and I was like, what?
Listen,
I felt so dumb.
if I take the motorcycle course, I'm getting a motorcycle.
Well, yeah, duh.
So I'm not taking the motorcycle course.
Y'all mark our words. What is this date? 4/16? Ain't there a John 4/16? What did it say? I know it's 3. But man, that's crazy. But hey, it was something I wanted to talk about, man. Also inclusive, but I can't quite remember. You know, I am coming up the line. I'm going out of state this weekend. Let's see if I can see if we got it up here. Before I downloaded it. That's some of the weekend we had at All Female Ride. I think I shared with you guys some of that. All Female Ride Jacksonville. You know, and of course, hey, listen, I was gonna say, so my belt, you know, the slow roll belt, I have it where we beat a lot of guys, and so I didn't bring the belt then because I said, oh, this is all female event, ain't gonna be no guys there, and man, it was nothing but some guys. In fact, all these guys were asking, hey, where's the trophy? We want to see it. We don't believe you won. And then I have this here, which is it's called She Rides, which is a film on talking about females and riding motorcycles.
Right.
So that's a good thing. And this here, this is my girl. This is where my bike is at. Althea, I want to go if I can go to that. Let's see if I can stretch that out. This is her podcast. And of course, a couple of weeks ago, I was on her podcast. So Althea, she's with, what's it called? Vagabond Choppers.
Athena After Dark Productions.
Yes.
Excuse me, real quick. Is it shipping or?
It's shipping.
Okay.
Okay. So, thank you. Just sending love, Athena. And hope to see you soon. After we get to our 75th podcast, we're going to ask you to come in.
Hey, Athena.
And this is what I did, guys. I know what I wanted. I wanted to talk about, we have the CEO of Harley Davidson retiring.
Aww.
Yes. He's retiring. This is a picture of him on the back of the bike. And I'll tell you, so, people call that back of the bike, what they call that seat, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
You don't know what the back of the seat's called in the back of the motorcycle?
The bitch seat.
The what?
The bitch seat.
Okay.
I mean, I was going to say, I thought it, but I didn't want to say it.
Right.
You want to say bitch? Okay.
Hey.
Okay, so we just talking about a female, I don't know, but a female dog, right? Now, I said that didn't sound right.
I said
Never
bitch
mind.
last
Say-
week, so.
Okay. Remember when I was riding the back,
Show,
so I ain't
I
really
didn't say it.
Most bitches I know are men.
Hey, or you're
Just
talking about
saying.
dogs.
Just saying.
So, anywho, I want to talk about, because this is John. What would John say? This is not one of those moments.
Hey.
So
Just
what
saying.
we have here is we were talking about the retirement of Jochen, and he is an awesome person. I got to hang with him a few times over the last 5 years. Got to sit down in the theater with him, really see him, make some moves, not just talk about it, but be about it, and some of the questions that he asked me were like thought provoking and like, wow, this dude is just asking me this. And he genuinely wanted to know, similar to what I guess I just said, you want to meet different people and go different places and have an understanding of, what makes them tick. Not everybody's interesting, but, everybody probably thinks they're interesting. I don't know. Or maybe nobody thinks they're interesting.
What?
But
Bring us back up.
Huh?
Bring us back up.
you still here? Oh, you mean just full?
All
All right. That was so rude, John. Now I gotta figure my thought.
Harley.
Yeah, but I'm serious, John. It's rude.
My apologies.
Now, because
Can we
now
punch him in the gut?
now to try to remember my thought. That's the
That
rude
deserves
part
it.
of it. That's the rudeness of it, because I'm like,
John.
yeah, well, yeah, just yeah. I mean, learn you. Don't
You gotta
pat
make it
me.
up to her now.
Don't pat me. I know, but he got to learn how to do some shit too, because he want to control. He control you. Figure out how to do this. That way, I ain't the only one.
Remember, he can't control fire.
This one city could get it from. Huh? I heard myself. Now I can't get it right. Now I'm like, I can't even get it right now. There it is. You want to put us back up? You think you see yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, but did you see yourself before?
No.
You was right
Too
there.
small.
Oh, see.
I knew what was going
I
on.
would quit messing with you.
John didn't get the memo.
We're gonna do look, y'all see?
Doing what?
My patience is good for people who don't understand. My patience ain't no good with people who clearly understand. Hell.
No soup for you.
Dang it. Sorry about that, y'all. Before I got rudely interrupted, talking about I don't see myself, and this about me. I want to make sure I can see myself. Make sure snot ain't coming out my nose. So, anywho, we were graciously talking about Jochen and how the difference I feel Harley Davidson Motor Company has been in his 5 years. You know, I didn't like Harley a whole. I won't say I didn't like the persona, and I'm certain you guys have heard persona of Harley Davidson, and you know, and depending on where you are, Harley Davidson maybe in L.A. got a different persona, and than the hills of or the creeks of or the swamps of Florida.
How many Harley stores did you think you visited?
Oh, in the last 10 years that I've been riding, oh, a lot, over 100. Because every time I went 48 states, maybe 2 times consecutively, and maybe 5, 8 times. I'd say maybe 8 times, you know. So, and every time I'm stopping, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. And so, some of them, you know, more than once or twice, you know. So,
From what I'm seeing from knowing him, I feel like even when you made those trips, it was never about visiting the Harley. It's everything else around it, everything along the journey.
It was
So
yeah.
beautiful.
To meet people, to have the interesting gas station conversations, meet people like my brother John, to be genuine and being who he is, and for him to change up, as long as it's for better, it's for great, and he's gonna keep me accountable too.
That's not change up. That's improvement.
Right. So
You know,
if that's so, that is change.
and every day you strive
But
for
improvement is change.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay. So don't think change is bad. That's not change. That's
I don't
improvement.
call it change. It's improvement.
Okay, but it's still change.
Yeah.
You can still call it that, but it's not wrong. So I'm saying you're putting a negative connotation on change as if change is negative. And I'm saying every day is another day, it changes.
Need a hug.
No, I want you to not have approval on it.
Approval.
Yeah, remember we
Yeah.
talked about love, right?
Hey, it's all,
It's
all about love.
I know
You
it's
think
getting crowded in here.
Why you say it's getting crowded?
I'm just saying.
But am I wrong? I mean, I'm sorry if maybe I ain't even following my own medicine, right? Okay.
All right.
I think Harley was a vehicle.
My sister,
Harley is
Same.
certainly a
So don't
tool, a love to keep me in and with this the what's my word we're stronger together, and motorcycles humbles you, and I think Jochen truly brought when we met, I think he seen in me something I didn't see in myself at the time, the gift to have conversation, no matter who you are, and be okay with it,
Right.
you know, and just to listen. And so, and for that, I owe him a lot.
The conversation ruled the nation. So
That's
they
it.
Say.
That's all it takes.
You know?
If we would have a conversation, we'd never have wars.
Right.
You know?
No,
Some people don't know how to talk about it.
Right.
Too emotional.
To have a conversation
right.
About a month ago.
Get out your feelings.
Right.
Right.
That's it.
That was the problem. He was
Be a grown up
He was talking to
and deal with your shit.
Get it out.
I'm sorry.
Get it out.
Did I say that?
She ain't sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Unapologetic around
That's right.
here. We threw a crowd, damn it. So
you don't like it? Get the fuck out.
Right.
Right, we agree.
Cindy, like, I didn't mean all that.
No, listen. Hey,
Yeah.
we did.
Exactly. I love the glasses, by the way.
I do too.
Yeah,
The chocolate.
Brown, all right.
I know. What you say, Doodle Brown?
Yeah.
I was getting ready to say that's the same color as me, but then you said Doodle Brown. See your judgmental ass.
Well, hey, you said chocolate.
I made this t-shirt.
I'm your home girl. Yes, you know.
No.
I told you it's gonna be cool when we met. You know.
Yeah. What else was you thinking?
Yeah, I was on something else, but you know.
Well, that's always if lust brings you, great. There's something that attracts you, and you need that attraction. Now, once you make clear, hey, this is you're my brother, or you're my sister, or you're my auntie, you're my uncle, then it's a different handle, and you'll know within the second, third time. And if you still want to hold on to that, you're like, yeah, okay, this ain't gonna be nothing, right? So I always feel good about that. You know, I remember I'll let you talk. Somebody else
Hey,
talk. I got
Stan, go
stories.
ahead, finish what
No.
you should say.
I felt me talk too much. I
No,
want to
go
give
ahead,
somebody
do
else
your
turn.
thing.
I was gonna say,
Raise a crowd.
I know why she get
before
to yapping.
my significant other knew this, he'd be up here and he'd be like peeing out front when the guys come, be like, "Hey, we glad you came." And I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" You know, he said, "Yeah, no, just making sure." I said, "No, right now you're throwing, the men ain't just coming as they see me as attractive. They come get some food. I put out my flag. We have a good conversation. I'm their sister. They my brother. Boom, understand.
Right.
And then they come back over and over again. But if the first time they come, they feel like, hey, what you doing? So I looking at, they ain't coming back. So
Yeah.
what got? Got hot in here?
You say too much.
No, I'm just. It is, but that's not just one man.
You
That's
leaving?
several men. That's several. Yeah, that's several men.
Don't leave.
That's a sometime a what do you call it? It's a personality flaw that can easily be corrected. But it's not a. So I'm saying sometimes you got men out there peeing on the, territory like lions do.
Well, don't we all?
Well,
You
I
know,
guess in certain
In
forms,
some
I
sense,
don't.
Right,
but
right. You know what I'm saying? In some sense, you know what I mean? And
I don't think I
I
ever
don't
do.
think I do.
Yeah, I know I
Oh
don't.
gosh, how the
You're
women
not a
saying
man.
that?
Did you not say men, or did you
I-
mean men as in mankind, or
No.
do you mean men as in men?
People, because
yeah,
women
people.
do that shit
right,
too.
Right, yeah, women do it.
Leaving
So
their
you talking
panties.
Yeah, that'd be
men
like,
as mankind.
be all like this. Hey,
Right,
how you?
right.
Yeah, so
Not that I
mankind.
experienced that, but
Right,
All of the drivers like
But is that a bad?
right. All of the
Right.
drive. We here.
Now the driver's license, folks, that's a little crazy.
That's his mind. That's his mindset. You see, what's
Ego,
wrong with that?
the
I mean, if they
driver's
let
license
you,
photo, right.
look. But if they let you, that's okay. We married.
No,
No, I'm just joking.
People at the DMV
No,
gonna tell you
the
to sit your
extreme.
ass down. Right.
But you know how you can go. How you
Right,
thinking?
right, that's not right.
I
No,
know.
you good.
my
You
head
got a
is
light
like,
feeling you want.
I think I
Know
need to
that
get
I've never
closer.
had that
Yeah,
thought,
you should.
and so that's
See?
your mind that thought of that.
I know
And
you love me,
I'm not
Johnny.
having, and I have no judgment
More
on
and more
it.
each day.
But it is your thought.
Yeah, you trying to say yeah.
No, I'm saying it is your thought. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say that's you. It is
Order
your
in the
thought.
court.
Emotion out, yeah.
Order in the court.
I'm learning stuff, okay? That I already knew.
Back on task.
Okay. And so, but yeah, mankind. You say you do
Look at
that
the
too?
gavel.
You would do that
No,
too?
I'm saying,
What?
you know, I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, you shouldn't really have to, but if you do, then I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since
Job. You show your face.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
At least one
If a man approached my lady, you know what I'm saying?
Your lady ain't said nothing to you. You just assuming,
No,
or
I'm
you
just
making
saying,
up a scenario?
right.
Okay.
If a guy approaching my lady, I would expect for her to be, you know what I'm saying? You know, like, dude, it ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm with someone or blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You don't have to say get out my face. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But you know, if he's coming in a way to where he's trying to come a certain way, then you deflect that shit. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to come up and be like, man, you standing too close to my lady. You know, why you in her ear like that? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
You know
so
what I'm
if
saying?
you
But I'm
had
the
that
type,
scenario,
I'm
if
the
you
type,
got that
though, in
scenario, then yeah.
If you allow that shit and you got some guy all bent up in your ear, I'm loud as shit, you know.
That's
for
a
my
sign
drink
right
and
there.
get the fuck on, you know. Hey,
Right.
do your
She ain't
thing,
the one.
young lady.
Right.
Right.
She
You know,
ain't
I'm
right.
not gonna trip.
Right.
You know, I never have and never will.
So you know you just strict contradicted your own self.
How you figure?
How you
figure?
Because you just said if you a checker dude, if they all
I
up
didn't say
in,
nothing about
and
checking
then
up. Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
no.
and then you said, but wait a minute, if that girl got him right there, I'm gonna take my drink and move on.
No,
No,
I don't think that's
that
what
ain't
he
what I
said.
said.
You said two different things, I think.
No. I said, listen carefully.
Listening with listening
I
ears.
said, if I'm with a lady and if she allows a guy to constantly be up in her ear, you know what I'm saying? I'm allowed to walk away from that.
Right.
You know, but let's say if we out at a club, you know, and I walk to the bathroom or some shit, and some dude is on her shoulder, you know, bro, you know, move on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Any man to do that, you know.
Okay.
You ain't got to grab the dude by the collar, you know what I'm saying, or no shit like that, you know, because now you done just elevated shit to a whole nother, you know what I'm saying, plateau outside of conversation.
And that was that scenario.
You know
I gave another scenario, which would be different. What do you think, Cindy? I'm sorry.
Well, no. Go ahead.
The scenario I gave was my restaurant, and to stand out and either say bye or greet,
right.
as you know, can be a bit much. If you know, especially if you're not the greeter, you're perhaps the boyfriend or friend, you to come and say, oh, we glad you came, and then it's not a we restaurant, it's my restaurant.
Right.
So I was saying that's a bit much, and you said, and I said, well, of course the lion, you know, pees and marked territory, but that's not necessarily, that's not something I ever would do, ever did, and it's because the woman.
But how's that marking his territory if he's trying to greet your people?
Well, he's not greeting everybody. He's only greeting men that look like they're interested in me.
I don't know. No, I don't even.
How can you tell?
I'm struck.
Right. How can you tell?
I feel like a man will do only what a woman allows him to do,
and vice versa.
And you just,
he don't do it no more. He did it one or two times. He did it one time, and I seen him. I was like, "Hey, I don't need you to do that." He said, yeah, no, I was. So one time,
screening cats.
Yeah, he would, because I noticed my business going down, and I'm like, and then I was like, and I would happen to be sitting down when, and I said, aha, right. I got it, and then I had to talk to him, and he didn't do it no more. But yeah, but he had been doing it.
Well, I'd say one thing I can relate to you about.
Fighting off the other roosters.
Yeah. I was like, I used to have a lot of men coming here now. I don't see, and then one told me, I see your old man out there. I said, what you talking about? He said, yeah, man, I don't come by there no more like that. He said, he frying the chicken now?
He posted up with the pistol, you know what I mean?
And of course, Cop was like, what are you worried about it for? I said, no, it ain't. I understand. Right. And cool, he ain't worried. He if he come, great. If he don't, it's cool. But hey, I don't need you doing that because, it slows down business. When I'm going out there and I'm networking with people, hey, come by the restaurant. Whatever gets them there, it may be the food. When I'm at the cigar bar, it may be, hey, come on by Chantel's. And all they seen was our interaction for about 5 seconds. So their physical attraction might have got them. And if that gets them through the door, fine. When we come and have a 5-minute conversation, now we can get to the brotherly, the sisterly love, or auntie or something. But I don't want to kill it before that.
But you're not above.
But it'll be a different. That's a totally different situation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why I was coming
like
with that.
So like a public, type figure
right.
like yourself.
That's why I was
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would never trip on a conversation, but still at the same time, check your boundaries. Right. You know what I mean? Check your boundaries.
If she got a man all in her ear all the time.
This here would be too close in a general conversation. You know what I mean?
We like this all the time in the cigar bar.
Is it crowded like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's crowded like that, it's crowded like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's got everything to do with the individual.
Like if we got an open space here, there's only 10 other folks in here. You know what I mean?
I think it's got more to do with the individual.
It's not crowded like that. You know what I mean? So if it's not crowded like that, you know what I mean? Why are you so close trying to hold a conversation? You know what I mean? I just don't get it, But if it's crowded like that, then people just got to get up on each other. Chances are, if it's crowded like that, it's loud like that. Therefore, you gotta be heard. You know what I mean? So you know that's a different situation.
Yeah. And also,
just a
I
casual
believe
conversation.
in agreement
and I'm
with
all
you.
like this here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You know?
I'm gonna be like this here. Right.
But a lot of them won't be. You know, they have to be just as close. Oh yeah, honey, key. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's, you know.
What was that about?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
We were talking about your personal space. Boundaries. Right.
Oh
yeah. For sure. So yeah.
I step back.
And also still depends on the person. But I agree with that scenario. Yeah. Because trust me, that's happened plenty of times. And Calvin like, I was like, and they'll say, oh, okay, yeah, that's right. And then if anything helping because they tipsy or we trying to ease them off or it's something like that. But yeah, they toe up. Something wrong with them.
Right.
But yeah,
I'm real serious about
that's an excuse I don't accept.
What's that?
Somebody tell me I'm drunk.
No, not them saying it. It's something we would observe.
Right.
Something told somebody. If they got to say they're drunk, they ain't drunk.
Right. You know exactly what you.
Right.
You know what you're doing.
If you know you're drunk.
Hey, a drunk speaker sober mind. You know.
I feel like
I was always told.
People won't cross your boundaries if if you're a certain way. Yeah. I feel like there's certain undiscussed language, body language and stuff that you should know that ain't the one. She ain't gonna fall for that shit.
Right. So, they know. And if they don't, I will clearly tell you. I will be clear. Because when I want to be cloudy, I can. When I want to be confusing, I can. And I want to be clear. I can.
Church say amen.
Yeah. That's everybody.
You church. That's
it. Look, you got something? You got something? You got an example?
People, we're gonna act, like we want to act. As children, we act on impulse and stuff, and we find out, what the rules are. And we find out what you can get away with, what you can't get away with. But you still have that, you want to do what you want to do. And as you become an adult, you find different modes and different ways of doing things that you separate, your work behavior, your job, along with your church group, it's one thing, and then when you with your party people, it's a whole other thing happening. Well, but you find a way to do what you want to do, right? And you're gonna set those boundaries for yourself about who you want, how close you want them to get.
Right.
Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody, and somebody is over here, and you notice them over there, you say, "Wow, okay." Otherwise that would be an attractive person, somebody I might want to investigate. But in a relationship, you're not gonna keep. Oh yeah. So what you say now? Oh yeah. You're not gonna do that because you're
too close.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna do that unless your intention is to, over there.
Well, if
that's up to you.
But if that's the intention at all, though, it can't be another person to decide that.
Right.
It has to be right. It has to be something that is those people. Yeah. Right. If it's what somebody else is thinking, that doesn't mean anything. Yeah. But to that person.
Right.
But what the other person?
No, with the person that just came up with the scenario. It wouldn't matter for those two because you didn't say those two people as that's what they're doing. You just gave the example as that's what it looked like or that's what it could be.
I'm saying how we set our own boundaries for what we accept, what we don't accept, by what we give energy to.
That is
and
true.
What type of energy we give to it. Right. If we're receptive to it,
they come forward. Right. That's an invitation.
They're gonna pick up on that. If we shutting it down and we there's a limit, it's like no limit. Then they either respect the limit,
sister, brother,
or
uncle,
they
nephew,
or they abandon
or lover, right?
Or abandon the show because that's not what they want.
Yeah, you give
or
it a title.
they, try to find another way.
Right.
Who? The person that is initiated?
Whoever, people try to find a way to do what they want to do.
Right.
They
Oh, yeah,
ain't, and no doubt about it.
Definitely.
They gonna find a way.
For sure.
That's
No,
why. That's why I tell
What
people.
you want.
That's what say. That's why you only control you.
Right.
Ain't nothing.
We appreciate
Nobody.
that, Brother Carver. You know, thank you for that input.
Something that has some value to somebody.
Right.
No, I mean, like, I give out my card, my business card, a lot. And, I like to give out little silly things.
Yes,
So silly,
yes.
useful things. If you ever encounter me, you just might get a useful, silly thing.
Yeah.
You should be like, that girl, Cindy.
Treats, chocolate. Matter of fact, a charger right now. Hey, you give me that charger right there by the cash register, please. Just saying, life saver.
So I gave my card out. I gave my card out last, what was Friday?
Yeah.
And this gentleman at the bar calls me. Not calls me, I'm sorry, messages me. And it's just like, I'm just like, okay. I'm trying to figure out what do you want? Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. What do you want?
Right.
But he wasn't coming at me as I want to buy a house or I need some information or whatever. That's why I gave you my card. It's yeah, what do you like to do? Da, 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 da. Okay.
Well, that's
so I said, well, listen.
Like,
I said right off the back, I said, listen, I'm pretty boring. I don't like video games. I don't play video games. I don't like social media. I'm not social. All I do is work.
Now he got a challenge. He think he can change you.
And sing karaoke. So I'm pretty boring.
What do you say?
And I'm healing.
That he turned. All right then. That healing part got him. I stopped at heal.
It all depends on what he does or says next.
Well, because he messaged me like the next day again.
Okay.
Hey, so I asked him
like flies.
I'm straight out. I was like, "What's your deal? Are you married? Got a girlfriend in a complicated situation? Which one?" He says, "Oh, I have a girlfriend, but she's in another state."
Oh, hey. That's why you asked the question.
I ripped his mask off. Like,
that's why you asked the question.
Oh, so he was hoping that I was one of the loosey-gooseys.
But he didn't rip the mask off. He gave you, he gave you what you asked.
Yeah, but if
I didn't ask, that would be your fault.
Exactly. But I'm smart enough to ask.
There you go.
I mean, I don't care, but I want to know why you bothering me on this tip.
Because he wants some. That's why he bothered you.
Well, at least we passed that early in the game.
Right.
Boundaries. Now you want to talk about business?
When he ready to talk about business, he'll call you. Right. But you had to keep. Hey, listen. Everyone's gonna happen that way. If that's the way. If you give out your card, it's gonna happen, and it's to you to say, "Hey, how are you? Yeah, I gave you my card for business," and you might want to give your card to somebody that might not be about business. But you can determine that when the call happens.
But I mean, I knew.
Because had he said, "I ain't got no girlfriend,"
but I'm sure, you know what I'm saying, she might make that clear. When if she owns something.
Well, at the time, she could be in a business meeting.
Hand it to you differently, look at you differently, give you an eye. You know what I'm saying?
Not if it's a crowded networking event. It ain't the time.
That's speaking without speaking. I said looking. You know what I'm saying? The way she handed to you, it's all types.
No, there's no way I handed to him. Right. I tossed it at his ass.
That's what I'm saying. The motherfucker throw you a card, and like, hey, she's like, hey, take my card.
Hey, Cindy, you put out your card in stacks up here.
So you might smile that you haven't seen in the 2 hours of the presentation. You never saw that. You haven't seen that smile. It's a different smile that she gave you.
Hey,
John.
You know.
I'm very social.
Good. A dude might come in here straight out prison, order a 2-piece, 2 sides. He said, hey, looking for an apartment. He got it. He's like, hey, okay. Right. And she cute too. He gonna call her up. Miss Cindy Fenty, I got your card from, Chantel's, you get an apartment. He says, oh yeah, and he sounds good, whatever. Cindy was like, and she says, oh, Chantel, he sent me, his number, and then he sent a picture by mistake of him.
Okay.
She better still ask the questions, no matter what. Ask the questions.
Did
Are
this
you
really
single?
happen?
Is you married? No, this didn't happen.
She also she done wrote a whole script.
I'm like, what? What on earth? I don't remember this. Where he at? And then you say he was from jail.
Right. Sent you a picture and shit. She said prison.
No, but that shit didn't happen. Listen, there's a dude that called me. He called me and he's looking for an apartment. Yeah. And then he said, oh, I think I might qualify for a house. So I was like, okay, I'm trying. But he then started to tell me all about he was from prison and he did pretty well for himself, experiencing what he did. And I just couldn't get over it. Then he sends me pictures. I was just like this.
You send no pictures back?
No. See, that would be the forwardness. Like he's dead now. That's the spirit I see right there. I'm sorry. I'm just No. Regular pictures. Just I mean, I'm like, you shopping for a wife or something? Hey, you trying to get that house? Got two wives. All I probably need is the land and then the wife. Okay, come on, get it. Let's go. Oh, but man, Cindy say what? Hey, on earth, it is life every day. She said, "Did that happen?"
I ain't said nothing. because it's more like, how did you know? Who told you? That's what she was saying. You know what I mean? But I ain't gonna say nothing. You didn't get it from me. Right.
I don't think I told you that story. Right. You didn't. I just come up with something. I'm a friend of psychic or something. I hope he's still living because I don't know how I thought of that either. Who that? But yeah. No, he messaged me maybe a month ago. I was supposed to engage and I just didn't. Like I said, I hope he's still living. Yeah, right. If you find out different, let me know. I want to know. There are over 40,000 agents in Central Florida. You can find one. Right. But I'm just saying my point was you always ask the questions, no matter what scenario, because we perceive something to be one way, but we have to not detach from just in a sense, detach from the perception just to allow a neutral ground, the acceptance, especially if you're just interacting with other people, because they'll just allow you to learn something without compromising who you are. But if you learn some information, it may change your opinion. But if we're so stuck in, you don't tell, how you gonna ever learn something? So always ask the questions. I feel like if I would totally work with him. I was willing to work with him. Yeah. It's just when he sent me his picture, I thought it was kind of strange. Yeah, he knew what he was doing. Yeah, it is strange. That's my. And you could have asked them. And I got a taser. But you could have asked too.
Right. You could have replied.
But you could have asked. You could have asked because he could have did it by mistake. He did. You don't know. No, I got 4 or 5 pictures. Again, it still could. You know how many times I've made mistakes on phones with people and thought it was one number, and I thought it was another because I didn't save the name. I call myself thinking I could remember, and I remember I'll remember like this. 470. I'll know the third digit was a 0 and the last digit was a 4. So I'll go on 40, and that wasn't enough. I now I need 4 digits.
Was it the same picture or different pictures?
Different pictures, different poses.
Right.
Why you ain't shit? Why you didn't ask him? Hey, did you mean to send me these pictures? No, I don't want to ask nothing.
Can I tell Terry I took the whole conversation back for stage to Cheyenne?
Yeah, I'm just saying we make mistakes.
I should have asked a question. You think I should have asked?
I mean,
why did you send me those pictures?
No, just hey, did you mean to send these pictures?
You meant to send them.
But did you? How do you know?
I don't care. I didn't want to know.
But if he didn't,
that's enough. The boundaries.
You could have. Okay, I got you.
It didn't matter.
But it's only on her perception, and that's what I mean. If now, not saying, and if anything, you can strengthen it. Just to get confirmation of what you know, what you know. But you said you ain't need none.
I don't scare easily, right? I'm from Brooklyn. So, but anyway, it was just a little bit creepy, and I just had a thought of me going into homes, showing this man homes, and
Right.
you know,
Gotcha.
so if what did I say in the beginning? I'm led by my intuition.
There you go. I got
And the
you.
Most High, right?
How are you
So
confirmed
if
by
I
it?
didn't feel right
How
about
do you
it,
confirm your intuition?
Hmm?
How do you confirm
by
your
how I
intuition?
feel, and how I feel like God puts all the information that we need in order to make a decision.
And you measure that with no confirmation, just from stopping.
It is my decision, regardless what it is.
It truly is. Truly is.
Mhm.
Truly
I mean,
is.
even if I know he's a nice guy. No, he is a.
How do you know?
Because I spoke to him on the phone for a very long time, and he told me all about his life story. It's pretty amazing, and I mean, like, I tip my hat to fellas that get incarcerated and they restart their lives. That can't be easy at all.
It's
Right.
not.
You know, and to
It's not.
find a job that's paying you, and now you said that you could buy a house. Yo, dude, that is awesome.
Right.
You know, you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, commendable.
But you know,
It's not easy.
it's not easy. It's
So-
really not.
I got you,
But
I got you. You know, it's me. I'm wondering. I'm like, but you don't even know. But you know you feel it. Like
no,
you
I mean,
said.
I know I feel it, and you know,
Yeah.
I prefer to work.
Well,
with
if you
women.
out there and you didn't mean to send it to her like that, you need to let her know. No. If you had that $2 million house you wanted to buy and you got the money and you didn't mean to send them to her, then you need to let her know she still got the house for you. That's all I'm saying.
I still got that house for you.
John gonna be with her though. That's all. Ways around that. I mean, come on. But
I
no.
didn't mean to sound like an asshole.
No, dude, I don't think, like you say, you said it to me. You got your intuition. That's what you go on. You go on that gut. And it's got you thus far. You still live it.
Best
You know?
trust it. You best
Yeah.
trust it.
It
I
never
know I
failed me.
did.
You
Listen,
know,
I'm the same way. Because that's like saying, if you was to say to me, hey, how you knew you had to pee? You could have went up that extra step or two. It's okay if you peed on yourself. I would have been dead.
Wow.
So you could have
No,
did
she's
that.
right
I'm just
though.
saying.
No, she's right.
Yeah.
There's so many times that we get information, like little signals, like, okay, don't go there, don't do this.
What you
don't
think
do that.
about John?
I don't want to know.
Go ahead, John.
No,
I do
Listen,
want to know. That's why I said, John.
You can't
I don't
control
wanna get-
fire.
I don't want to get barred.
No, say what you want to
I
say.
want to think of shit, tell you the truth.
Oh,
I'm just talking shit.
There go the brain.
You know, right.
Just laughing, just giggling.
Just giggling.
Because you had something smart, Alex.
Yeah, always.
That's what I want to
Always.
know. Some bullshit. He just giggle out of the blue. Like we believe that shit. I just giggle. I wasn't thinking of anything. I just giggle.
You know, it's like this one little kid I used to counsel and say, I got the chuckles. He just laughed uncontrollably.
And that's what you
I
did?
forget his name. Yeah, but I forget that dude's name.
That's what you did?
He was a pleasant. No, I didn't do that.
I know you
I like the
didn't.
chuckles.
So what you was chuckling?
I forgot. What was you talking about?
How convenient. Y'all see this, right?
I can't have a brain fart.
Hey, okay.
Not allowed.
Not allowed.
Not if you giggling about it.
Hey,
That's a happy moment, or
It's not
a sinister
fart.
moment, or
More like a
sinister
belch.
thought
sinister thought.
of talking about shit. It was okay. I mean, they ain't sinful. They gracious and right.
Always appropriate.
Sure, John.
How you use that word?
Sure.
Out of all the words,
Uh,
appropriate you went with
appropriate.
appropriate to
Right.
John's standards.
Appropriate to most standards, I would say.
Most being
Most folks that think like me.
I had to get tough yesterday
with
With what?
with Deltona Water.
They'll tell the
If
world.
you look on Google rating, they have like a 1 star
I
or
thought
2
you
star.
live in the pocket.
I do property management. You keep
Oh,
up.
okay, my bad.
Yep.
My bad.
slow,
No, he
Hey,
is slow.
slow.
John is never slow.
Come on. No.
Hey,
Just messing.
He
I got
just
no problem with
squeeze
that.
it.
I
He ain't
love
got no-
being, I like being misdiagnosed.
Oh, it's the night.
And take one to know one, so the one that's misdiagnosing you is misdiagnosed
Exactly,
too.
Exactly.
You know.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
Hey,
Yeah, I do it too.
You
know, sometimes I don't want to like come out of, this is me normally. I'm just like, just chill. But when I'm on customer service and they start to give me bullshit and they're rude on top of it, what? I'm like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You're not helping me. Get a manager.
Right. So
That's right. Clear.
So you got to handle them.
Yeah.
My fuse is that short when it comes to customer service. Because here's the thing is, you can be nice. It's a choice.
Right.
And you're just choosing to like run me in circles and be rude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No time for that.
No tolerance.
Don't work on customer service. Do not go work at a job. Go do something that don't work with people.
The customer service.
Go stack chairs.
Take a motherfucking
at a funeral home.
Go take a mental health day. Yes, at home.
Yeah, something, but don't do that.
Right.
Because in fact, because we all have bad days, but we have to, when we go walk into a job or walk into some place, hey, just at the door, just walk it. Come on, you walk outside, leave it. Function. Ain't nobody else responsible for you. That's why when there are these mass killings, and that would happen because they had a bad day or they didn't like, and you're gonna want to shoot all people and then shoot every man. Listen, just shoot yourself. I understand. And people say, oh, that's cruel. Well, the latter. If there's a choice, allow it to be one versus many. We're gonna hurt that this person killed it because I'm not condoning suicide. I'm not. I'm trying to say to mass murdering.
That part. Like, don't go and hurt somebody else. That's a cowardly.
Because you have a bad day.
Especially if you're going to end up killing yourself anyway.
Yeah.
Just kill yourself.
Yeah, just kill yourself.
But that's when it's like that's a severe mental issue.
Right.
But how do
they don't want to get help?
Miss that.
Well, they don't want to seek help. They don't care. They were
people
selfish.
around them. The people around them. Well,
sometimes they isolate themselves.
I did actually
a few months or days or hours, whatever.
That's mental health. Because you know what? I did see that in the hospital. Not in the hospital. I went to the doctor today with my dad, and they had an information screen. I'll share it with you guys because I sent it to myself, and it gave about 6 to 8 different ways that if you can know that you're depressed, right? And one of them is if you're hanging by yourself, you find yourself alone a lot.
Right.
And then what was the other one? Oh man, there was a whole bunch. I can't. But the point is that there's help out there. There's so much help out there that people can get. But when you're around someone, and if you see red flags, say something.
Right. Keep each other in kindness and truth. If it's necessary, don't act like you don't see it. Say something. Talk to other people, especially if y'all care.
But the thing is, some of these people who are depressed and they're hiding themselves, they're bullies. They become bullies, and then their friends or the people around them are intimidated to say anything. Well, does that sound right?
I'm certain that's in the scenario too.
I'm
sure.
But I don't think that being alone. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's alone, is necessarily depressed. Now, if they're alone and lonely, having that need to be around folks, just ain't got nobody to be around. You know what I mean? Now that could lead to depression. You know what I'm saying? But some folks are just, for whatever reason, one or the next, that they just by themselves, and they have conversations and connections. They just, chilling.
Am I cold to say? If someone's depressed because they have a fear to be in front of people, am I cold to say, well, okay, we'll still get up in front of people, even though you're afraid or you have this fear, then do it. You may not get out of your house, maybe go to the store, maybe just go pump your gas, maybe just. Am I wrong to say in little steps do that? Because I think fear is only what we need to build courage. We're scared to to walk because we might fall. But guess what? We don't stop walking. And if we do stop walking, if we do stop trying, we will never walk. So fear is healthy. I just think fear shouldn't stop you. So I think we can often heal our own depressions in some states if it's because of a phobia or because of it. What do you think? Am I wrong to, huh?
That's not cold. I'm trying to love you.
Well, but some people say, I gave that example, but someone who may be suffering from that depression because they got to fear people, they may say that's, no, you can't do that. And I'm like,
you don't know their history. Like
right.
Everybody's journey is different, right? And I mean, I told you guys my childhood trauma, which when I look back at it, it's nothing compared to what I know a lot of other people have shared with me.
But it's trauma.
Right.
But it is trauma.
Right.
Trauma.
I didn't get like RAP, that and all of that. But it was
because you
violation.
Probably talked it out.
Right.
With you.
And but still with that, it did something to me.
Sure.
Okay. And
affect your capacity of being becoming
exposed.
Who you are now, but yes, your innocence gone.
Right.
But with self, every person has to have that inner strength to pull yourself out.
Yeah.
Correct.
And not thinking that somebody's
that
going
only
to come
comes
pull
with
me
courage.
out.
And that only comes with that courage.
Nobody's coming to save you. You
have
gotta save yourself.
You do.
That's when
learn to swim.
You came up, growing up and problem solving on your own. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with certain situations.
And some didn't.
And right. Yeah, those are one that was coddled, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That
Solving every problem for them.
Right, the parent, So that's the difference.
Right.
But that's the difference. And that's mental toughness. You know what I'm saying?
Or not solving anything at all.
Mental toughness, right?
Then you learn just not to. You learn not to ever even try.
You know what I mean?
And that's what some people do.
Like, oh, somebody said I couldn't do it, so I didn't even try.
Right.
Yeah, they said you can't do that. So who said that?
Like
I looked it up on the internet.
Lack of self-confidence, you know what I'm saying? Self-motivation,
But I do believe there is a big difference between alone and lonely.
Definitely.
Right?
Oh yeah.
Because I spend a lot of time alone by myself. I actually enjoy my own company.
Yeah.
Does it sound boring?
I can take myself.
Well, that's your choice. That's your opinion.
I got 3 people with me all the time. Me, myself, and I. And Chantel.
No stress. With a glass of wine.
And sometimes them and all of those.
I don't know. They don't come. I don't want that. Especially not all of those. Too many.
Hey,
three's a crowd.
It gets crowded sometimes up in that mall. You fuck around and have a whole damn audience.
Hey, man, listen. Are you right about that?
I'm about to say you never heard the applause sometimes.
Hey, I'm majority of one. Right. We've heard that? Let's say heard that. All right.
Sitting thinking, hey, I'm not alone.
You're not alone.
Hey.
I am here with you. Although you're far away, I am here to stay. Another day is gone. I'm so all alone.
That's a sad song. Like, what was he going through when he wrote that?
Leave world so cold. Ain't that Ben?
Song.
Is that Ben?
No.
He loves his, no.
That's
You're
Yes,
not
I
alone.
dancing
Right.
and ask myself, I'm ready to go. And I forgot all the words, so I'm gonna say, you're not alone, you're not alone. Hey, karaoke tomorrow night, y'all. Chantel's. Brought to you by, you see I put my little logo up there?
I like it.
Okay. And then now we can go back. Me trying, girl, me spent a long hour to do a song. And then let me show you how I can get it. I thought it changed now to shut up and ride. Oh, it don't. See, I thought it was. Nope. Oh, no, here it is right here.
Where'd it go?
Nope. Okay.
There it is.
There it is.
I'm a little happy.
It's all up in your face.
I know.
And you lost half
Written
of
all over your face.
Written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to. Okay, wait.
Is that place irrigated like executive?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Oh,
Just come try, and
white
if
light.
not,
Do
It's
the
so
mask on.
far.
okay, I believe it.
Where is he talking about that joint down in Orlando?
Ooh. I gotta go to Polk County tomorrow.
How far is that?
So come do one song.
Lakeland and Winter Haven.
Come do one
Oh,
song.
you
You'll
want
see.
one song?
You'll surprise Lois Lane
Oh.
and what you call it?
She's hosting the
Mhm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. What's gonna be the deciding factor is the address.
Okay, let's go. Put
The
it
distance.
in. Cigar box.
Let's see.
I'm gonna put my lipstick on and my boots. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what I'll do. Them these on boots are gonna walk all over you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sing that song.
Boots on the ground.
Hey, boots on the. I got my fan too. Where them fans at?
42 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll take me 32.
What are you doing? Flying?
No, I'm riding a motorcycle.
Oh, because you go in the side lanes.
It's going about 100 miles an
Nah.
hour on average.
I'm going a little above speed limit to get in front of you or stay behind you. And sometimes that requires going a little bit slow.
Look at that. It don't matter where I'm coming from. If I'm coming from my house, it's 45 minutes. Coming from here, 45 minutes.
So hey,
All right. All
see,
right.
no time
Fine,
off.
fine, fine.
There you go, no time off. Look at
One
that.
glass of wine.
Hey, sound good. And we might have liquor already there. So
Might be a little
Yeah,
quicker
no,
with
see.
liquor.
all right. See, look at it. All right.
How
there
does
is.
it work? What do you do? Like
Mm-mm,
reserve
got
it? You buy
well,
it?
we got a locker there, the
Oh, you have
GTG,
lockers.
GTG,
Ah,
and so
Now
what we
they're
got?
hanging out with the privilege. Yeah.
Let me say, we all want deodorant.
Old stogie focus.
Hey, matter of fact, on that note, then y'all, we've been here chatting and chewing for about an hour and a half. Y'all got some last parting words and gift to the people till next week. We'll start with anybody who want to start.
That was a surprise.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ended.
Oh, well, no. I mean, you could take as long as you want
Nah,
to
we
just,
could-
like the ending. It don't have to end in 5 minutes
right,
or 10 minutes,
right.
but what you want to speak
Oh.
about in the
Yeah,
last.
someone say, Cindy, let's start here on the left with you ladies.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, take a break sometimes. That's
Yeah.
it.
How's your week
Take a
so
mental
far?
break.
How's your week so far?
My week is like really jam packed.
Yeah.
I find myself, like nonstop.
Yeah.
When I tell you it's one thing to the next
Do you
until
feel,
I go to sleep.
Do you feel like you got it with a hump today?
I don't know.
You still
I
uphill
don't think
right
so.
now.
Yeah.
Still uphill.
Yeah. It's just. Today was a step forward,
Right.
but there's so much to do. Especially I'm talking about like with my dad and my parents.
Mhm.
I manage their health, so it's a lot of appointments and referrals, and it gets kind of crazy. And
Yeah,
Then-
man.
Bless you.
then I got my kids too. I got to take them to the doctors and the dentist and then what about me?
Go, Cindy, go.
See?
Go,
That's
go.
all.
That's why I want to bring you to karaoke.
Yeah,
That's for
relax
me.
a while.
Karaoke's for me.
All right, relax your mind. Get your
I know.
conscience free.
One of these days we'll have a driver for you and just drive you where you want to go.
As long as it's not a motorcycle.
Oh, Lord of mercy. A driver, period.
You want to be on the back.
Okay.
Rider, a motorcycle is called riders.
A rider is not a
Right.
driver. I'm kind of a control freak.
Cool.
Right.
I like to drive my own car.
Yeah, same here. But I could get going anytime I get ready.
Yeah, I don't like to drive with anyone because
She's
then,
from Brooklyn.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Right.
Ready to move, man.
I ain't waiting.
That's
Mm-mm.
cool.
Hey, love you, mean it.
Yeah, that happened to
Toodles.
me too many times. I was just like, never again.
That's why nobody won't check you, right?
Listen.
Like, motherfucker, please.
Wish you would.
Wish I would.
I got my pocket haters. Really love you guys.
Yeah.
I love you.
So wish your ON would. You know, they call them YNs now. So you
what's
got an
ON?
old nigga. They know YNs.
I know
say
what N meant.
Right.
I just wanted to know.
So ON, old niggas. They say you wish your ON would, huh?
F around and find out.
Right.
Yeah, see what you made me do? She said, see what you made. I'm minding my own business.
Don't hurt yourself.
And then just, see,
Jen, that's a big board.
All you have to do is just mind yours.
Don't put it on your face, baby. Don't put it on your face.
Yeah, don't do that. It's
Get it right.
It's all on the ground. That's been all.
Yeah.
Turn it around.
You know what people do on the ground? They roll up and people go like in the street and
Yeah.
it went over, and then dog poopy.
Dog
Oh,
pooping.
you got dog poop on your face. Let me see. Come, let me see.
Wash your face.
I gotta make sure. Let me see. Okay. There's none on this side. None on this side. I think you're good. Don't do it again, okay? Promise?
No more
All
poopy face.
John.
Yeah. Oh man. So, what was the question I asked you? How was your week so far? Yeah.
Character building. It's never a bad day.
Right.
It's a character building day because whatever happens, it sure does build your character and make you stronger.
Yeah. Well, the week is so far. It's a beautiful week. You know what I'm saying? I had an awesome Sunday. You know, just relaxing and chilling. Then Monday, we ended up at the City Hall of Sanford. You know, and it was kind of entertaining.
Oh, say the least.
And informative. You know, but
I seen him today.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw your video at the ribbon cutting, right? That ribbon cutting ceremony, yeah. But I mean,
Sorry.
yeah. God bless America, because these folks are just as delusional as they was 50 years ago, man. I'm telling y'all.
Reiterate on that. Where you like, you know, if you don't mind.
The practices of the powers that be, you know, and we're talking government now, city government in our case, in the case I'm talking about, city government, you know, and it's just the same old fixed game. The game is rigged, you know, everywhere you go. And down here it's like, you know, it's the same old story. You know, I hate to throw my normal labels out, you know, but the man still got their symbols to make sure those other darkies are in line and compliant, you know what I mean? And I saw some of that power stand up for someone the other night. You know what I mean? They went up on the mic and they stood for their man, you know, and it was cool. But at the same time, you gotta wonder, you know, you just gotta wonder, brother, what are you doing? You know, because I mean, the charge for this brother's removal was led from what it seemed like to me was a righteous sister. You know what I mean? And she stated her case. You know, it's nothing personal. We're talking job performance. You know, and for these folks to up and speak so strongly about this guy being the right guy, then what exactly is he doing for you that's so right? Because apparently it's just the people don't think it's right. You know what I mean? So what is he doing for you to make you come up here and say there's no other? I mean, they say ain't no other motherfucker in the country that can do this man's job the way he does it. You know what I'm saying? What are you? I mean, but the people ain't happy. You know,
and that's what it's about.
Right. So
you know, let me have some more.
But that goes to show that it's a reflection of. It's a reflection of the mind state. You know what I'm saying? That's widespread throughout America. It started from the top. They don't give a damn about what the people think or how the people feel. You know, it's all about their pockets. You know, it's all about their pockets. You know, and how things are supposed to go indeed. So,
well, that's what it's. As I was, and one person said this to me. This concept. He's the he's a scapegoat, and he's the one that looked to blame, but not all the blame.
Right.
And if things but then they say he's the manager. He's supposed to manage what's not getting done.
Right.
And he's not tending to that. So, yeah, if nobody can do this job, what is it, that he's doing? Right.
Right.
I get. So, there was a vote, and one person wasn't there.
Right.
And it didn't count. So it was 2 against 2.
Right.
So I'm thinking they're gonna probably do another vote next meeting, and they'll go for another count. See,
Right.
but they have the power to do that. The commissioners, they hire and fire.
Well, it's like from the looks on, like I'm a man, to have your peer to be a couple of them, presenting that they want to have you removed. My man was awfully cool. Brother didn't break a sweat. You know what I'm saying? What's his name? Bonaparte. Bonaparte was a cool customer. You know what I'm saying? But I saw
and he always cool. That's his mannerism. He's always cool.
Right. But but I could see why, because the guy on his left, the mayor, it didn't matter what he heard. He had his mind straight up. This my boy. And it might be because he can see the perspective he sees too. And I'm not just being, I'm just giving another perspective. See, with that mayor going out there for that vote too.
Yeah, for sure.
Because,
for sure. He's an elected individual.
To the people either.
Right.
Right. You're not willing to listen.
He might have sealed his deal of going to being a mayor anytime.
You lost all those votes, Pim. That is if someone was to bring it up during the next election.
Well, everybody that was there is going to remember
how he ignored
or conveniently forget.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Would they been got a hold of someone at the time and cooled them off? Who knows?
Yeah.
Let's see if she had the same energy come election.
That's right. That's right.
Are the meetings like normally the second Monday?
The second and fourth Monday.
The second and fourth Monday. Okay, I gotta put on my calendar.
Hey, what you got that one for, honey?
Oh no, I'll wait for you.
Oh, okay. I gotta taste each. I'm testing my samples to test which ones I want to keep.
Whatever those are.
No, but they're all different.
What is it?
They're all different.
Waffle.
They're new waffles.
It doesn't say which one is which.
I know which one is what. That's why I tasted hers.
Okay.
Yeah, those are all different. Mm-hmm. Don't worry, Grandma's gonna start getting them.
You're packing them to go?
Yeah, what I'm doing.
You don't need no syrup.
I'm trying to come up with a new menu. Chantel, shut up and eat. And so I'm going along with some few things that are recipes that are consistent and goof-proof, to where I can put a teenager in there and they can prepare it, and and it's going to taste the same. It's going to taste the same every time. So I'm testing out new foods and new shippers and producers of it. All natural product.
That mischievous hair smile from.
Hey,
yeah, you.
Apparently she's born with it.
I say that, but you.
She had it as a little baby.
Hey,
say little wicked little smile.
Look, you see how good she at it, right? You see how good she is at it, right?
Right.
Hey, little girl, stop making all that noise.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't say wicked. Wicked might be a bad term.
Yeah, that was coming from John. Yeah, but and John, how about your week? And what grace and blessings you got for the people to enjoy it, get by it?
Telling them, where were you at?
I know, you done?
Oh no, I'm not done.
Okay, that's what I thought.
He was ranting about politics.
Right. We got off. We got taken off course about these folks in Sanford and their political views and whatnot. But but a lot of them guys down there, they were disappointed. It seemed like they invested a lot of money in hopes that things would change and improve around there, but it seemed like there wasn't much improvement going on over the years, 10 years in Sanford, according to some of those business owners and residential owners, Yeah. But anyway, I like Sanford. You know,
Yeah. I mean, we the people still can speak, and we the
Right.
people matter. So
Right.
we the people, when it comes to it, if it means to vote and you have to do it the following, then
Right.
you do what it takes. We're not defeated. I don't feel, as long as we're breathing.
Right.
There's always, because it didn't happen. Did we think it was going to be a microwave mentality? But then that'd be a shame, because that means the second one that come or third one is going to be the same way.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
expect it, but don't give up if that's the intent. Now,
No.
during this time, maybe they can make some improvements to where that vote won't happen.
Right.
But they got to move too.
Do
But if they
something.
do nothing, then
Right.
then we the people got to do something. That's all. That's simple.
Definitely. Yeah, but as far as moving forward is with me, I'm just trying to, once again, every day there's you guys know my health condition.
Right.
So there's not much I'd be running around trying to do, so I try to keep it simple, and just waiting on my tomorrows, man. I got the thing going, I don't want to put it out in the public.
Hey, I want you to do this restream, when you try not to do nothing, do simple stuff, and learn how this thing works. Learn some stuff.
Restream.
Yeah, restream.
So I'm gonna cut you off again like you just did me.
No, so you can learn about it, so you're able. Well, hey, that's my point, right? That was good information to be better, right? You still gonna carry
The
on?
restream, got you. I check it out. Send me the link. But I don't have a laptop at the moment.
You got a phone?
Out of permission. Yeah, I got a phone.
Hey.
Check it out. I can do it on the phone.
Well, you know what I'm trying to encourage, because they're going to be this summer, and even if you're clumsy with it and goofy with it at first,
Right.
at least be familiar the second time,
Yeah,
the
we
third
don't
time.
always be around on
Right.
Wednesdays, you know.
So
stuff from the Mexicos.
yeah, so
India be off in the Swiss Alps somewhere.
wherever we can be able to
yeah.
do this, because this is what allows you to during the it ain't right now. Okay, add people. You see right here.
Right.
Invite guests.
Right.
And put their thing right in.
Right.
Add up to 10 guests.
Right.
So I want you to be able to
but you just copy that thing.
I copy that, and then I go to send it to you. How can I see it? I don't know that. I got my phone in here somewhere.
Okay, that's what you added there.
So stuff like that I gotta figure out. Now, of course, if you can see it, then you could just copy that right there onto your phone and see if it come up. But and so that's the stuff I meant to do too. Let me see if I can just take a picture of it and see if it'll work right now. All right, so I'm gonna see. Sorry, John. So now go ahead, carry on. I had really interrupted you to give you that tad bit about us being better.
Now she got your back.
2 times.
Let's see here. As I was saying,
we already covered that. You ain't moved on yet.
Right. But but in all seriousness, I'm just, trying not to do anything that's gonna heighten my blood pressure. You know what I'm saying? Stress me out.
You can't be watching social media then.
No, because that's
it's entertaining.
It's entertaining as a motherfucker to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead serious. And when I get to talking shit, I know like my brother Common said one time that I be looking like I'm bad or sounding like I'm bad, but man, these motherfuckers is just.
People got a lot of time on their hands.
Right.
And a lot of time to do follow.
Right.
A lot of time to folloh, nothing else.
I don't impose my opinion on nobody. I don't go on other people's pages talking shit.
But we ain't gonna complain about the follow.
Right, I don't, right. I just say what I say and put it out
Move
there.
on.
Right. Move on. Yeah. But so that's just me, man. I try to mind my business, At least I know I mind my business. I
You
don't
drinking
try.
water and mind your business?
Drinking water, mind my business. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be peaceful.
You don't. You said you don't.
Trying to be peaceful, you know. Like I say, it's all about peace and love, man. If you ain't got peace and love in your heart, you know, you can try to get it out. We're gonna try to help you out. You know. Hey, that's the echo.
Am I on there?
We don't. Where would you see
Where
it?
would you be?
There's a private chat right here. Oh, your touch screen. Nice.
You pressed it and you didn't know, huh? You just made a guess.
All right, just reaching out, touching
So,
shit.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
What's
If
the
I do
question?
watermelon sugar tonight, you think they'll be receptive?
Oh yes, ma'am.
Because I sang it somewhere else, and these people were so
What's watermelon sugar?
rude.
The song
Because they didn't know the
figured it
song.
was
It
a
was
song.
just.
is. Can I
Sing a
ask
little
if
bit
they
of
were
it.
black people?
Do I need to
Colored?
say it?
Yeah,
Were
that's
they
a shame.
colored?
What it, no, they weren't colored. They were black.
They didn't know watermelon
How did
sugar.
the song go?
So where were you at? The Legion?
No, close.
I got you. I can believe it though.
Give me a little bit of it. Let's hear it.
Yeah, you know the song by Maroon 5.
No, he want me to
By
sing.
Alan Levine.
He want me to sing "Spit
Oh.
Me Out."
No.
My
the
bad.
song you
Watermelon
talking
sugar. High.
But you know what it is? It's the same pop type of tune. Like no, I mean it's like the same writer did that. You know?
That's
But-
Harry Styles.
Okay, I didn't even know.
Says
Wow.
got Maroon 5 watermelon.
No,
sugar.
it's not
So
Maroon
it's not
5. It's
Maroon
Harry Styles.
Oh,
Watermelon sugar high. Watermelon sugar
High.
Watermelon sugar.
High.
Watermelon sugar.
what's wrong with it?
Nothing, but she's
No.
just saying, with the crowd being
Certain assholes
receptive.
might not
receptive,
be-
and of
Yeah.
course,
Because these people was just like,
How does it make you
they
feel?
were
to sing
talking,
it?
and some people were like, jamming, like, yeah, they knew the song. And
Right.
others were just like, get the hell off the stage. We don't know that shit.
Oh well. Introduce
now is that your
yourself new.
perception, or did someone say it to you?
So say, hey, get off the stage. We don't know that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They were
But you
talking
just-
and they were rude.
I got you. Just talking during it.
Rude.
Rude.
Like it was going to get the drink song for them since they didn't know it.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't
right.
know. Like we've been to a lot of karaoke. And it's just like
Yeah.
when somebody's singing, you listen.
Yeah.
Right.
Even if they're bad,
Right.
Yeah.
you try not to like over talk their singing.
Right.
See, that'd be
Yeah,
that
true.
crowd over there that was at that bar
Y'all are assholes.
that we used to go to on Tuesdays. Some of y'all buddies sit over there. And I noticed that they was rude to certain folks that
Oh,
was up there singing and they talking and shit. You know what I mean? I'm like,
loudly.
right. You know, it was almost like it was on purpose.
Well, look, like I say, you people can show you who they are,
Yeah.
and you could see clearly, and don't lie to yourself
But
about
fuck
it.
them up and then
And-
chick
no.
would have been like, shut the hell up! I'm singing up here.
And
I
for
actually
someone-
heard somebody say that.
Right, and I was
Right.
like, and if somebody want to
Right.
say that, that's free
Right.
game too. Like, yeah,
Right.
So,
Right.
but you have to remember this, follow that same advice, and if
Yeah.
that's the advice
Yeah.
you've always followed, then
Yeah.
why not speak upon it?
It's folks some courtesy, man.
You grab the mic, say, hey guys, just want to let you know this is karaoke. If you could, when we're up here and we're singing, if you
Keep
keep
the conversation
the
to a
conversations
minimum.
right.
All right.
You know?
Don't be rude, baby.
So I'm
Love
gonna change your perception though.
So I'd be
Like-
like, asshole.
Like what
Can you
if
keep
like
it down?
sometimes we ain't seen each other in a minute, right?
you. Yeah.
Right.
And then you meet me at karaoke or something, then we catching up and you're like, and then we start being a little bit and somebody's singing. We've done it before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've done it before. We
I
were
mean, that's
assholes.
understandable, but through the entire performance.
No, I at least at some
You know,
point I'd be like,
right.
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 But you get caught up in the moment, get
Yeah.
it. And especially if you're trying to be heard and the music is in your ear, you don't realize sometimes how loud you are.
It's
And
true.
so I've done that, and it's like, caught myself.
yeah.
Right.
In fact, me and you've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
but certainly no disrespect to the singer,
See how
but
fast we come up on the 2-hour mark.
Yep.
Oh, it's 2
Yeah.
hours?
Just like that.
Yep. I knew when we had some fun, it'd be over.
Yeah.
Hey, 2 hours, shut up and ride show, three's a crowd. We done figured out some things on Restream.
Yeah.
We're on the Book Face, the YouTube. So,
Got
Join
Cindy
us.
back 2 weeks.
That's
in a
right.
row. Oh.
and we're gonna figure out how to get us all in here together, because I know there's a way.
Yeah.
We're gonna be in the boxes.
That's
Figure it
right,
out.
right.
We'll figure
All
it out.
all in our different set.
We'll work
You
it
know?
out. Yeah, I'll be on
I'm
going
ready.
somewhere, somebody's park.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Like what you do,
Relaxing.
especially when you're getting your treatment and all, man.
Right.
Yeah, we got to keep this
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
How you feel, John? We got to hear your. Hey, Portia, we gonna see you. Good luck. What else? Any other commercials coming up? Anybody else I want to give a shout out to? Nope, I guess not. Well, oh, yeah. Just want to congratulate Yokin on Yokin, yes, on his retirement.
Right on.
Congratulations, Yokin.
All right, Yokin, ride off, brother.
You've
Enjoy
done
it.
amazing.
Enjoy the retirement.
Yes, and you see how I don't
Wish
do
I
it.
could have got a 3-wheeler out of you before you left, but hey,
Enjoy the
catch
beaches of the
I'll catch
world.
the next one.
He said, "Wish I could have." What do you say? He in line first. Hey, look at that! Now they all come. You see that? They had a trouble loading, but
Right.
thank you guys for joining us. Until next time, peace,
Yes,
hair
indeed.
grease in the Middle East.
Peace and love, you guys. It's great to be alive.
Beautiful thing.
In
indeed.
stream.